Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to third and hopefully final video of the 3 cars that I purchased from Copart. I will be starting by seeing what parts I need for the Dodge Dart, and I think we'll start by completing that one. So I want to say thank you for joining. Welcome. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Took pictures of the car, of the parts that I need for this car on my phone, and I will order them when I am behind a computer again. I got tires, a few plastic trim pieces, and that's it. And then it could go to detail. I could start driving it, and then hopefully, if any check engine codes come back, fix those. Honestly, just very like cosmetic stuff and make sure it's good mechanically. And then I do want to touch this up or take it to a body shop, see what they will quote me. If it's not too expensive, I'll also get that replaced. If not, then I'll just do touch-up paint. It doesn't look too bad in person. Headlights have been ordered. More or less just very basic stuff. It's a 2015 with just, I think, over 100,000 miles. I won't be asking a lot of money for it, but I do think it's nice. White over black with tinted windows. I should be able to double my money at the end of the day on that one. Engine seems like it's running straight. It's running fine, but obviously it did have a check engine, and if I remember correctly, there were a few codes. So I think that's it for now with these cars for today. Honda need a catalytic converter and then a new battery, and maybe I could start driving that one. Make sure no other codes come up. Kia, waiting for the other parts to come in, and Dodge Dart, obviously I still need to order a handful of parts. But we are making progress, and working on 3 cars at one time is a little bit difficult, and I did spend a lot of time on that darn Kia. That was very painful. I am almost considering doing a video how to take out that rear window, just because how painful it was, and I couldn't find a single video online that would show me how to do it. Yeah, that one was a little tough, but I mean, they all sound healthy. Well, Dodge and Kia, so I'm happy about that.
A few moments later.
Looking through the car, found this cover. Found this cover. That one I showed you guys. Trunk is closed, by the way. Found this cover. Found this one, which works. I'm gonna leave it out like this so the detailer could kind of get up under there and clean that out. And I found this cover. So what I need is another switch, a few trim pieces, and that's about it. And tires, and essentially I could start driving it. At least attempt to drive it. 3 cars and 3 projects. Man, I was not expecting that.
The next day.
It is a new day, and I am planning to take this car home with me today, because in this box we have a delivery from Kia, which is a new ignition cylinder for this car. So I am hoping to get it done. I will take it home, take care of that, put that back together. Hopefully I could install the ignition cylinder, install this guy right here because mine is broken somewhere over here, and then fix the bumper. I also have new tires and headlights that came in for this car, so I will put the new tires inside. It is extremely dark, like dang, this tint is dark. Should have the key somewhere. Nope, wrong key. So I need to stuff 4 tires inside this car. And then once I come back, I'll probably put some air in it and then go to the tire shop, get those replaced. But I need to get them loaded up. I don't even remember which brand I got. I didn't get anything super expensive, but something that I thought would work. And new tires are new tires, no matter how you spin it, as long as, you know, the tires rotate, spin, whatever terminology you want to use. Just want to double check that I did get the right size. 205 55 16. 205 55 16. Beautiful. I get those loaded up, we could take the Kia, we could head out. And we are off. Aside from my dealer plate vibrating against that rear window right there, it's running good. Honestly, I don't anticipate any issues with this car mechanically because I have had it run for 15-20 minutes at a time. It doesn't overheat. We do have heat through the vents. And I don't feel any transmission issues, so it should be able to make it home. And from there, little by little, I'll start getting it done.
The next day.
Today is a beautiful day. Let's finish the Kia. Yesterday was literally raining bad, non-stop. But I did manage off video to get the glass out and put this together. Car is still filthy dirty, but I am making progress. I did just install the new ignition switch. It all works the way it should. And we have 2 keys from Kia. It's held down here by this like metal pin, so it stays locked in place. I believe I will need to connect these 2. I have no idea what it does. There we go, that lights up. And then this connector is for this basically windshield wiper. And this part, I don't even remember. I think I took it out this way. So I'll have to put all of this back in, make it all look presentable, connected somehow, and in theory, the Kia will be done. Actually, no, I still have that ugly bumper to fix. So almost, but we're making great progress on this car, I would say. I do believe that it is done. There we go, we connected that. I have a turn signal on because I probably did something. Okay, so that's done. I don't hear any weird noises, but I do want to put a screw in here and then one in there. I did just take them out from the broken stuff, and this screw will actually hold this windshield wiper arm. I'm just trying to do everything kind of one-handed, but that will hopefully yeah, keep things in place, if that makes sense. So there's that one, and then we have one here. This one, I don't know if it'll do anything because, yeah, see, that doesn't even do anything. So I'll have to take that out because they broke it. I tossed it in here. So this is what it looked like inside, but it connects to the turn signal arm. But it's done. The only thing I have on is the TPMS light, which I will add some air and see if I could get that out. But next step is actually to try to take off the bumper and get that sorted.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Spent some time with my plastic welder, putting on this bracket. As you guys can see, got a whole bunch of plastic stuff here and then some from the bottom. And I mean, it's on there pretty darn well. I hope it holds. This one I didn't do with the fear of kind of like bending it. So honestly, I'll probably cut it here. And this point, this point, this point, this point, and this point should be enough to hold the bumper in place. Regardless, it'll be a lot better than what I had on it now. I got the dent out somewhat. Again, it won't be perfect because it did take, you know, a hit to that area. But I think I can start putting it back on and hope for the best. But look at that, engine bay is pretty filthy. I checked oil and transmission fluid. They're all, I would say, fairly fresh. And I think this car is ready to go to my detailer. I did reach out to my locksmith, asked him if he can make me, so Kia sent me just keys. There's no buttons on them, so no fob. And I reached out to my locksmith, asked him if he can make by VIN and program a button key fob. And then I asked him if by VIN he could cut me a key for the door. So the idea is either you could lock it here with a different key and then use these keys to start the car, or get a key fob so you could at least lock it and unlock it, because at this point obviously you can't lock the car from the outside, but we do have an ignition, so hopefully that will be something preventative where somebody can't actually start the car without a key, or at least they'll think they can't. But keys on Hyundais have been getting stolen left and right, so we'll see. I'm kind of almost sketched selling it or keeping it at the lot, because you never know. Although, you know, I'm fairly fenced off and barbed wire and everything, you never know. We are in Portland after all.
A few minutes later.
Well, looks a lot better, but unfortunately this did not hold very well. Maybe I needed to let it dry off or cool down a little bit more, but whatever. It is what it is, but I think the car is obviously nearly done.
The next day.
It is a new day, fresh morning, and we have headlights for the Dodge Dart in this box. So let's get this thing opened up. And I can get started on replacing both of them, but mainly because of this passenger side one. And I will probably have to use the new headlights as a guide on how to remove the old ones. So 2 brackets, is this it? Maybe. I feel the plastic bracket underneath, but this is metal on top. I believe this is a 10 millimeter. Beautiful. American freedom. Perks of being close to the airport.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
I don't believe it. Okay, so this is the 4th bumper I am removing within the last 7 days. Honestly, did not expect it, but this one is by far the dumbest. So in order to get the headlights out, I had to remove this plastic cover that goes here. These are all the bolts I removed. Had to remove pretty much everything from the fender liner that's holding the bumper in order to get to that bolt right there. It's the fender that holds the headlight. Had to remove this cover, just moved it to the side. It holds here and then it bolts in, I think here and then here by clips. And now I have this plastic clip, which is an absolute kind of pain to get to. And then I will have, no, I think that should be it. And after this plastic clip, the headlight should in theory slide out. Now, I don't want to remove the whole bumper all the way. I will see if I could somehow like slide it, get enough play in order to kind of get it out and then go from there. But man, replacing a headlight should not be this darn difficult. And I started on this side, which technically I don't even need to replace. But the reason why I'm doing both headlights is because I purchased some with black housing in the back. So they should look exactly the same with just black housing. And factory did have those options, whether it was chrome or black. But I figured black wheels, black tint, white over black, it might look good. So that's why I went with the black ones. And honestly, I haven't even looked at them. But yeah, there we go, black housing. So I guess we'll see what it'll look like, but this is much more difficult than it needs to be. Alrighty, first headlight is out, and I have to be honest, this was one of the dumbest, if not the dumbest, headlight removals I have ever done in my life. It connects here, it connects here, there's 3 connections here. The bulbs themselves, 1, 2, and 3. It connects here, then there's a small connection right here, and then underneath, right there on that tab, there's a dumb bolt, and then there's 2 right here that hold things. This is so unnecessary. I feel like, especially for a car like this, of this caliber, like yeah, I would expect it from a German car, maybe a high-end Japanese car. But man, an American car, like look at all of that. All of this gets connected to the headlight. All of this. And then it mounts here, mounts there, here, 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 here. And it has the bumper brackets that go in. Guess I'm glad that's over. I will not be filming the other side or how I put it together. So let's just see the finished product now.
A few moments later.
Oh my goodness, already another roadblock. This connector on the new headlight does not go with the old bulb. Let's see if I could pull this one out and show you guys. So you see this one has one split down the middle. This one has two. And this bulb, when you try to put it on, does not go through.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
And the Dodge Dart is done. What do you guys think? Will not be replacing that front bumper, but with the black housing, actually looks really good. And again, these are aftermarket, but OEM style, so nothing fancy, nothing really different. But I do like the black housing in the back. I think it adds good flavor to it. So I have to put the Dodge on yet another pause. The fuel door cap is out for delivery, so that should get here soon. I am working on another car, that's why I will not be taking this one home, but we are making progress, and unfortunately that took way longer than I anticipated, so I am falling behind today. Since the Kia is going in to get detailed and I have a little bit of time, extra time, I am pumping up this tire, and then I have new tires in here. Going to a tire shop and getting these tires installed. But this is sketchy, look at that, it's just straight up fabric. Not really good if you ask me. Made it to the tire shop. They mostly work on big box trucks. But yeah, it seems like it's still holding air, but that's a bald tire. Once they replace it, we'll take a better look. Looks like the front ones are installed. Nice meaty tires. Rear ones are getting worked on now. And I would say our brake pads are probably 50-60%. A little bit hard to see that. But me driving, obviously I didn't really brake much, so it still looks like we have rust on the rotors. Got the old tires inside the cabin. Car actually runs really well, except when I am parked at a red light. I feel very minor vibration. Once I start driving, I don't feel anything. So I'm thinking it could potentially be engine mounts. Like right now, gone. I have that check engine light on for a small evap code. I did pull in before, which you guys saw. I did order a new gas cap, waiting for that to come in here, and we will start kind of poking around from there. But at the very least, making progress. I mean, a little progress, a little bit here, a little bit there, day in, day out, but we're making progress. I have nearly all the parts that I ordered already here, almost. There's just a few plastic trim pieces that are not here yet. Touch-up paint is here, so yeah, slowly. Back at the lot before I forget. Look at that. These are hecka chewed up tires, but the front ones, not too bad. I'll have to come back another day. It's kind of getting late. I'll probably list those for sale, see what I could get out of them. But yeah, starting to make progress on that thing too now.
Several days later.
Making excellent progress with all of the cars, but I feel like this video will be a little bit lengthy. Today's the day I get to move forward with the Honda Accord. So Kia is ready, it's listed. The Dodge Dart is getting detailed right now, and I think I will probably end up buying new engine mounts for it. It obviously won't be a priority. I feel like slight vibration. There's no pending codes, but when you put it from drive to neutral, the vibration kind of goes away. So that's a sign of failing engine mounts. So I do have it planned to take care of that, but not yet. So with this one, I got the old battery pulled out, a new battery's on its way. I got the new catalytic converter that will go into this car. I mean, basically, we're gonna drive it for the first time. Hopefully I make it to my mechanic. It's going to be loud, it's going to be obnoxious, it won't be fun. But I wanna quickly show you guys this beautiful 135i convertible with a 6-speed manual. I need to move this vehicle, but it has some kind of exhaust on it. Just wanna share with you guys. I'd say it sounds pretty good. And it's a fun car. And look at this thing that came in on consignment. Haven't even seen it. But that's probably all factory. Now I have the key somewhere in my pocket, one of my pockets, so I could at least unlock it. Oh boy, I have too many keys. Nope. It's an R8 key. Okay, well, that's keyless entry. Oh, look at that. Leather interior. I think this one has super low miles. Yeah, 3,000 miles. Essentially, brand new car. And BMW isn't mine, this one isn't mine. So not necessarily, you know, a video to make for you guys, but showing you what I got. Walking by and I saw the plastic piece, got underneath, and look at that, there's our exhaust. So we definitely have no cat. And that is too close for comfort on the road. I don't want it to spark or cause an issue. So I think once the battery gets here, I'll start it, pull it out a little bit, raise it up with a jack, and then try to zip tie it somewhere, somehow. There shouldn't be an issue because obviously there's no heat going through it because it's not connected to the engine, the headers, or the catalytic converter. So it's not going to melt, but I just want to prop it up so I could actually drive it. But again, this is going to be a very loud experience. But thankfully I'm in Portland. This is somewhat common here.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Ladies and gentlemen, wish me luck. That is loud. That is loud. First time ever driving like this. And the reason why I'm driving like this is I let a friend borrow my trailer and we're 2.5 weeks in. And a lot of things are going not as planned, not as expected, and etc. So we're gonna do the best we can.
A few moments later.
Yeah, we're not really going far. I have to turn around and go back to the lot because we are running like super hot. I might even see, like when I'm moving it kind of goes down a little bit, but I have no idea why. Either fan maybe not kicking on, but yeah, that's not good right here. I made it back. Let's take a look. What the heck? I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. Not a fun experience, would not recommend. We have coolant. I'm not going to open the radiator cap because you're asking for trouble at that point. I'm curious if the fans don't turn on or what's going on with it. Yeah, the cap is hot. But I did have heat through the vents. That's why I was like, hey, should be able to make it. It's loud, it's obnoxious, but I do have heat, so the cooling system should be fine. And then it was and here we are. I think my loop was 5 miles, so essentially 2.5 miles one way, and then I turned around. And would never ever recommend driving when the temperature gets that hot. Pull over, find a safe spot, stop, and go from there. Either get it towed or just don't drive it. The reason why I did drive it is because this is a super cheap car and I don't care, honestly. That's the only thing. If I was like in a different car, much more expensive, nicer, higher end car, I would have pulled over as soon as I saw it go to 75%. I would have stopped and started to poke around and figure things out from there. But unfortunately for the Honda, it's gonna sit here. And I think if or when I take it to my mechanic, I will probably do it on the trailer off video. Just want to finish up the Dodge and we'll probably end this video because I realize it's getting very long.
Several days later.
Dodge Dart is done. I have not taken it through emissions yet, but it has been listed for sale. I think I have it listed for like 4,500 bucks. And I think for what it is and everything that's been done to it, I think it's a great price. We still have this damage over here, which, you know, it doesn't look that bad. Well, obviously it's there, but it's a 2015 for 4,500 bucks. Honestly, like, can you find something this new for less? I think it'll be a little bit difficult, at the very least in our market. But I tell you what, guys, the car market, it's probably the most difficult I've seen it, being, what, 6-7 years in this business. Cars are taking a while to sell. So interest rates are super high, so the more expensive vehicles that require financing are harder to move because interest rates are high and most people don't want to take out a loan for, you know, 20% or whatever. And then cash sales, purchases, a lot of people don't have money. Economy's crap. I mean, like, fuel is expensive. Everything is expensive. Over the last 2 years or so, a lot of things doubled in price. You know, milk, eggs, and whatnot. So people are focused on living rather than stuff like this. So it is what it is. But I have the trailer prepped. The Honda is finally going to my mechanic. It has been sitting for a little while. Actually, I want to see if it'll even start. I did put a new battery in it, but it has been parked here for a while, and who the heck knows? Hey, it might actually start. It did indeed. Wonderful. So this car is going to my mechanic. I don't think that there's really a point of filming all of this for you guys. Actually, Kia sold. Kia is the one vehicle out of the 3 that has been sold. Sold it for $5,000. I don't even remember how much I was in it or how much I'm in all of these cars, but I think from the purchase price, selling the Kia for $5,000, I think nearly paid for all of these cars that I bought, which is fantastic. So more or less everything else should be, to some extent, a profit, but it isn't because I'm spending money to fix them up. But regardless, I think I made maybe 1,500, maybe 2 grand on the Kia, which is good. That was a fairly easy one. All these other ones are proving to be a little bit more difficult, but thankful for the sales that I do have.
Much later.
Before it gets dark, want to wrap this video up. So Kia Soul, like I mentioned, that one's been sold. Dodge Dart, I still have, and honestly, very minimal interest in it. Have no idea. It's priced at like, I don't know, $4,500, 5 grand, something like that. Before 2015, new tires, you know, oil change, whatever else I did to that car. Seems like a very fair price. Is it a body damage just turning customers away? I don't know. But more or less, I'm struggling selling that one. The Honda Accord, that's another story. It went to my mechanic. He installed a new catalytic converter, new oxygen sensor. And crazy thing is, He took it through DQ, which is local emissions. It passed, and then on the way back to his shop, it started to misfire. He said, hey, he called me and goes, hey, order some plugs. We're going to do those. Starting to misfire. Check engine light came on. I was like, okay. I order plugs. He starts working on it. He pulls out the wiring. It's all burnt and just not good. So he goes, okay, you're going to need some ignition wiring too. So I got all of that. We took care of everything. But he's like, but it still has that kick, just a slight kick. And he said he thinks inside the transmission, the teeth more or less around the gears, one of them is gone. So when you drive it, like say past second gear, it runs totally fine. Highway speeds, absolutely no issues. But when you park and then like a second or two later, you get a nudge from the back. So he's like, I don't think transmission fluid like change will do anything. You're gonna need a new transmission. He's like, okay, you could drive it, feel it for yourself, see how it feels. Um, if you think it's worth it, we'll replace the transmission. If not, then you decide. So I picked it up from his place. I actually trailered it back to my lot. Then I was gonna drive it home, and I felt it, and I was like, you know what? I could disclose it, but then like I would still have to detail the car. I'd have to take care of the key issue because the key only works in the ignition. It doesn't work in the door. And I'm already getting kind of deep into it, like $1,500-$1,600, if not more. So I made the decision to take it back to the auction, and that's what I did. So Honda, unfortunately, will be at a loss. Kia was a solid profit. I think I made around $2,000 on that one. And Dodge Dart is still up in the air. That car is listed. It's looking for a new buyer, but no one showed up yet. So again, the Honda, from the very first video, I thought that was going to be the fastest, easiest flip, and it turned out to be the most difficult one, and the one I will eventually lose money on. I want to say thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys' support. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. I want to know, what kind of videos do you guys want me to make? Car buying, selling? Do you want this whole like start to finish type of process? What do you guys want to see? I appreciate your support. I appreciate you guys watching. Consider subscribing if you are not a subscriber yet. See you guys in another video.